What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're finally going to start working on the ZL1 and installing a catch can. So stick around to find out just how you do it on these new LT4 engines.
That is loud.
Now, real quick, guys, before we get to the video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everyone that is continuing to support the channel. We are over 5,000 subscribers now and already on our way to that 10,000 subscriber goal by the end of the year. So if you haven't, hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of my videos, specifically once we start really diving in and doing a lot of stuff on this ZL1. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys. Now let's get right to the video. Now, if you guys didn't watch my last video, we finally went to the track in the ZL1 with the bone stock Goodyear tires from the factory. And I gotta say, it did not disappoint me. We ran an 11.4 at 124, bone stock spinning first gear into second off the line, and that was super awesome. Now, I do have the drag pack, so that'll be going on next to see how we can do with a full drag pack and this thing actually hooking at the track. But before we can get to that, guys, I do want to do something that is pretty much very important in direct injection engines, and that is install a catch can. So the Mighty Mouse catch can, guys, this is their Gen 5 Series Plus, I believe, which is a really solid, hefty, nice piece of equipment. But this is the Wild version. It comes with this oil fill adapter plug, so it actually basically will bypass completely your PCV system, which this piece is right here. We're gonna have to be replacing this. This sits under the supercharger in the valley cover, so that's why we need to get those lid bolts and stuff. And these being one-time use bolts, got them replaced. But this piece will block off the PCV port in the valley cover to the supercharger, and we will now be running the crankcase ventilation through the driver's side head in the oil fill port, and we includes all the hoses. I did go with a dash 10 fitting, so as you guys see, this is a large diameter hose, and this hose should support up to 1,000 horsepower on the stock system. And on the red side, this is the outlet going back to close up our system by the throttle body. This is actually a PCV valve, so you can suck air out of here, but if you try to blow into this valve here, it'll actually block it off, which is what you need when you're running boost like we have in this system here. So it's quite a bit of parts and it can be kind of scary, but once you start doing everything, it's a matter of just chugging along. And at the end of the video, I am going to go ahead and also install my ZL1 add-ons rock guards, which I actually had painted and smoothed out to be a gloss black. So let's go ahead and pop the engine and go step by step and show you guys how to get this done. So we have the engine bay here. Now the catch can is going to be mounted right in this area here, so we are going to have to move some stuff around. But first things first, guys, is we do have to unclip this wire harness and move everything out of the way from the blower. You got a clip here. You got these two clips in the front and then a couple in the back, and basically that just lets you move the harness out of the way when we start to lift up on the supercharger. We are going to go ahead and disconnect this elbow so that we have some free space here. And once you remove the elbow, move the harness, then we can get started on removing the lid bolts. There's the 4 in the middle and all the ones around. That will lift the lid off. We can get the lid off and then get to more bolts that are inside the lid to loosen the supercharger up. So we've got the lid off. Now, one thing you do have to do, guys, before you can remove the rest of the bolts, we do have to remove this belt. And to loosen up the belt, you do have this tensioner right here. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell, but you're basically just gonna pull on that to loosen the tension on the belt and just slip the belt right over. So that is a 15 millimeter, and I was able to of course get this and just loosen the belt up, guys. So we'll be able to put that when we're all said and done with everything. And this is why you need an oil catch can, guys. This car had about 6,000 miles on it, and you can already see a lot of oil just deposited in the grooves here around the edge. Now let's look at the lid, and you can see on the lid, I mean, just all the oil that was already on the lid. We're definitely gonna wipe this down. One thing I'm gonna do as well, guys, is remove this plate here. Apparently this plate under the lid is kind of like a sound restrictor, and we should be able to hear the blower a lot more. It's just a thick solid plate. I just removed this sound plate, and look at all that oil. Yeah, you see it all in the back. That is why we are doing this catch can install. And if you have a direct injected engine, specifically this LT4, you need to have a catch can, guys, because if not, all this eventually slowly starts building up in the head behind the valves, and with direct injection there's nothing there to clean the back of the valves or the back of the heads, and it's just gonna be really bad overall in the long run. But so we've got the supercharger completely loose now. There are a total of 5 bolts on each side, 4 inside the lid and then 1 at the very back on each side. So a total of 5 bolting this supercharger down to the heads. Now the one on the passenger side back, you want to go ahead and loosen it up, raise it up to where it is clearing and not in the head anymore, and then lift up on the supercharger and bring it forward a little bit so that you can clear the cowl here. If not, you're really difficult to get it to clear. On the driver's side, not an issue. But then once you do that, you can kind of move it back. And I took a note out of Determined Veterans install of this Mighty Mouse catch can, guys. And basically you have this little tab here for the control boost bypass solenoid, and on the back here of the supercharger case, and you just put a fat tape roll there, and that gives you the clearance that you need for the PCV valve. Now the PCV valve does require a special socket, or that most people won't have in general, and that is this 14 millimeter Allen key. And I was able to find this at O'Reilly's, not that bad, and just use an extension with the ratchet, and that little valve should come right out and continue with the install process. And there you have it. This is the PCV valve. It is basically a plastic piece, comes out really easily, not much force at all, but you see it's got the hole there, and this is where it basically will get some of the oil transferred from the crankcase in the valley cover up to through the supercharger. And the new one is a nice solid billet piece, and this one has no hole. And now we got to transfer these O-rings over, put a little bit of oil to help kind of lubricate them, and then install it back with a 13 millimeter box wrench. The new PCV is installed, guys, and that pretty much covers the heaviest part of the install. And now we can actually go back and bolt the supercharger and put everything kind of back together. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now there is torque values for the bolts around the supercharger, and again, the ones that mount the supercharger to the heads are torque to yield, so one-time use. That's why I bought the extra set. And we should be able to sit this back, put it back in. You guys, I believe it's 94 inch-pounds for the torque values on everything, and I got a torque wrench. I'll be doing all that. Not too difficult, but let's go ahead and kind of set this down and torque everything down. I'm still going to leave the intake out because we're still going to work around our hose routing and mounting the catch can. One thing to keep an eye out, guys, is making sure that the little nipple on the side is facing to the passenger side and it's completely horizontal. That's going to give you the best clearance around the supercharger case there, and ensure that you don't have anything fouling up or touching, and that the supercharger is going to be able to sit down just right perfectly and not have any leaks whenever you tighten everything down. The supercharger lid, all the bolts, everything has been torqued down and ready to spec. I've put the belt back on So we are good to go. Now, finally we can get to installing the actual catch can. I did a very similar Mighty Mouse catch can install on my Camaro SS, and it was by far way easier than this. All right, so we've got the bracket now installed, and it is the black billet bracket. It does have the 2 bolts. The top one is mounted to the radiator shroud where the coolant hose was originally at, and the bottom one is just bolted onto the bracket and used as a guide to hold it in place on the shroud. And then of course you have the billet bracket here. It is a little tedious, just kind of work around your way, and you'll get it done. The instructions aren't as clear, but now that we have the bracket, now we can start worrying about all the rest of the connections. So the catch can itself, what we did was we added the straight barb fitting to the larger 10AN side. This is the side that's going to feed the can from the valve cover. And then of course this exit here is our PCV valve, and that one has the little small angle valve here for the smaller hose going back to our throttle body connection right there for the vacuum. And of course we also have this hose here, which does come with a little clamp, and we can kind of figure out how to route that when we get there, plug that stuff in. Then we do have our oil fill, and the oil fill does have a larger 90-degree fitting that is going to be the one we connect our larger hose to. And of course, instead of using this T and cutting into our factory lines, Garage King on YouTube has this awesome setup here that will allow us to do a plug and play T so that we don't have to cut up anything. Here we have Garage King's adapter, and the hose routed nice and tucked in behind, and I actually ran it behind the plug wire for the throttle body to make sure that it doesn't have any issues with hitting the belt, and it clears everything nicely behind it. Nothing is in the way. So now we have to route the hose for the feed from the oil fill. Got the hose cut up and measured, and have it routed under the intake elbow here over the top of the coolant lines, and it's going to basically sit right here in the front so it won't hit anything. One thing I did do, guys, to make this can obviously sit a little lower right here and be able to clear the back, is I removed the little sight glass cover so that the can would slide farther down and over that sight glass. So now I can basically reinstall the sight glass cover and tighten it back up, and the can will be nice and sturdy. Man, ZL1's LT4 catch can installs way more difficult than the Camaro SS, that's for sure. And it is all back together. We've got the catch can here nice and mounted. And for the drain, guys, I really didn't know what to do with it right now until I get the car up on the air so I can see about removing some panels on the bottom and maybe clipping it down there. I decided to just go ahead and bolt it on right here on the side. That way it's out and clear away from any hoses. We are done with the catch can install, and now we can get on to doing the rock guards on both. And I also show you guys that I did replace the side markers and give you guys just a little bit of how to on that. Check it out, guys. The front rock guards are installed, and I made the right choice, definitely going with getting these painted and smoothed out. That looks super nice. And now we got to do the backs. The front ones are very easy, guys. It's just one pop clip that pops out, and then double-sided tape, peel off, stick it on, mount that one, and then it comes some metal clips to hold it in place. Super simple in the front. The rear, a little more involved. You have 3 screws that you have to remove and then replace. You do use a T15 for the ones that are in place, and then you have provided screws that come with the kit. We're probably gonna have to jack the car up just to give us a little bit of extra space between the tire, but you can do it with some small little ratcheting tools. The rears are done, and man, oh man, check that out. Not sure if it'll come out but the glossy black sure is gonna look really premium and a lot nicer. Overall, I think it's gonna look really good because this car really doesn't have bare plastic parts, guys. The only bare plastic part is this little piece right there. Other than that, the rest of the car is basically all painted, and well, I had to get those painted. I think especially from the back, that looks super good with them painted. And overall, it's starting to take shape, guys. This thing is getting ready to really start making some changes and seeing just what this ZL1 will do. We've got the catch can installed. Like I said, super more in depth with these LT4s, but everything went smoothly. Hopefully this video helps you guys looking to do the catch can install. We've got the ZL1 add-ons, rock guards, custom painted gloss black to match the car front and rear. We went ahead with the eBay reflectors, guys. These things are awesome. LED smoked, really makes this thing pretty much black out. And man, I really love the way it looks here from this angle with the rear reflector and gloss black rock guard. Now the back end, we've got the black reflector there in the diffuser. I am debating getting some black gloss black tips. I think that'll really make this thing stand out even more. And of course, we've still got a bunch of more performance stuff coming up, guys. If you guys have made it this far, I will let you in on a little secret. I have been getting a bunch of parts already for this car. I've got the gauges, I've got the wideband. I'm going to be getting the tuning and all that settled and squared away, and when it's all said and done, within the next month or so, we should have this thing on E85 tuned, and hopefully when the headers get back in stock, we can get them and install them here soon within the next 2 months. We should be pretty much full bolt-on by the beginning of the summer. It's gonna be super cool. And I also have a little surprise for the cooling system as well, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.